Hi, I'm Mike Griffiths, Biodiversity Project Officer from Nature Conservation, Margaret River region. Today's woody weed, Victorian Teatree, also called the Coastal Teatree. It's actually a native from New South Wales and Victoria, and it's spread right through southeastern Australia into South Australia and here in the southwest of Western Australia. We're on the side of Bustle Highway. You might be able to hear the odd car going past. And this is because Victorian Teatree loves growing on roadsides. It's one of the main places you'll see it. It's also very common around coastal areas. It loves sandy coastal soils and a bit of gravel, no problem at all. Victorian Teatree was popular planted as a garden ornamental, also as a hedging plant. And these days it's really common to see spreading into bushland, coastal heath, all over the place. We've got a big patch of Victorian Teatree right here. Some of these are up to probably 5 metres or so. It actually grows to at least 5 or 6 metres. The stems of them here are quite big. We've got some trunks like this, and it's really normal to see it, big patches like this together. It's not very often you'll see just a single one here and there. There are a couple of distinctive features with Victorian Teatree. White flowers, that's about 1 to 2 centimetres across, and typically from about July through to October. The leaves, rounded, small, dull green. There are a few species of tea tree native to southwest Western Australia, but very few get anywhere near as big as this. The stems are tall and slender and tending to have this very fine bark that comes off in strips. Controlling Vic tea tree is a little bit like a lot of the other woody weeds. If you can hand pull when they're small, perfect. There we go. Right up until about 1.5 to 2 metres, you can often hand pull Victorian Teatree, and it's always a good idea to put them up where the roots are off the ground so that they're not going to keep growing. Plants over about 1.5 to 2 metres that are a bit tricky to hand pull. The cut and paste method is probably the only way to do it. And I've got the little trimmer. Cut low to the ground. And we're using Vigilant. Gloves, paint, straight after the cut. Really important to put the herbicide on straight after the cut while it's nice and fresh. Now that's gone on. Paying attention to the outer vascular tissue, and that will make sure that tea tree doesn't grow again. The Victorian tea tree looks like a pretty flower. It's quite a handy thing for hedges and all that, but it causes huge problems in the bush and the coastal heath around here. One of the big issues with it is that after any sort of disturbance, including a physical disturbance or a fire, it sets off prolific seeding. And while the plants themselves are killed by a fire, what happens afterwards is just this massive seedlings that come up. The wild tea tree might look harmless enough growing a little patch of it on the side of the road or over near the beach somewhere. One fire and it goes crazy. And it's really invasive. It's quite a serious threat to our forest and the coastal heath. Victorian tea tree or coastal tea tree is just one of the woody weed target species. If you want to find out more about it, have a look at the Nature Conservation website and check out the Woody Weeds pamphlet. We do have a few other tea trees native to southwest of WA, but and that's really the flowers. They have similar flowers and they have fairly similar leaves. There are differences, But the big thing that distinguishes Victorian tea tree from native species is the height of it and how big those trunks or stems are. There's none others that get to 5 or 6 meters with stems like that.